Second.
Got a motion and second to approve agenda as printed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, same sign. There being none, consider and take action if necessary. Approval of change order number 1 for LCDBG sewer rehabilitation project, adjusting contract for final as-built quantity.
Okay, in your packet, you have a copy of the change order number 1. Pretty self-explanatory. Basically, what it amounts to is a reduction of $15,552.50 in the original contract price, and that's just based on the actual materials and things that they had to use in the project. So we have to formally, as a public body, take action to approve this change order.
Do I have a motion?
All promotion we do that.
Second.
Got a motion and second to approve, as-built quantities for the LCDBG. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, it passes. Consider and take action, if necessary, authorizing substantial completion for LCDBG sewer rehabilitation project.
Okay, this is just another action item on that same project. The substantial completion is done. You have a copy of that. It was actually completed on October 2nd. We need to go ahead and approve that as being substantially complete as of that date. And then 45 days from that date, the contractor has to file a no lien certificate so we can make the final payment.
I move we make it.
Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, that passes. Consider and take action, if necessary, approval of final plat for Plantation Hill Phase 3.
Okay, you have a scaled down version of the plat in your packet. This is, as it says on the agenda, the third phase of this particular subdivision. And everything that we're aware of is complete. I know that Gary has gone out there and made an inspection, and administration would recommend that the phase 3 final plat for Plantation Hills be approved.
Yes, sir.
Question, some of these lots are just very large and some of them are very small. What are we doing about sewage?
This has its own self-contained plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, we developed oxidation ponds in phase 1 and 2, and all of this goes to
Okay.
those ponds.
Great. Great, thank you.
I move that we approve this.
Got a motion, need a second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve phase 3. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, that passes. Eubank Road Bridge replacement. We want to reject all bids received for non-compliance.
Yes, sir, and the reason that is, let me go into a little bit of explanation here. When we receive the bids, and you advertise, you put certain requirements in there that they have to complete in order to be able to bid on the project. And so if there's even a little technicality when they submit the bid, you can't receive that bid, you have to reject the final. And so the low bidder, actually did not acknowledge receiving the addenda, the only addenda on the project. There was a space on the bid form where they had to just check it and acknowledge that they received number 1. They didn't do that. You can't waive what they call informalities in a bid situation because it doesn't make it fair for everybody else. And so we had to reject him as the low bid. Well, then the next bidder forgot to get a corporate resolution, which is also required as part of the bid package, so we couldn't accept that. The other two bidders on the project were way out of budget, and so the best thing in the engineer's recommendation, and we've got Henry Schuler back there that can comment on this if he needs to, but was to reject them all and re-advertise. So that's what we're looking for permission to do tonight.
Good. I make that motion.
I second.
Motion made and second to reject all bids for non-compliance on Eubanks Road replacement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Can I ask a question? Is that bridge currently shut down?
No, not on, not on
Eubanks.
Eubanks. We'll get to that one.
I'd like to make a motion that we advertise for bids on that project.
Second.
Motion made and second to re-advertise for bids on Eubanks Road replacement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, that passes. Authorize advertisement for bids for railroad tanks, cars for bridge replacement.
Okay, we're in a situation this year where we just had DOTD, and they're not quite through with their biannual inspection that they do in all the parishes, but we've had two bridges that they've shut down on us. One is on Wise Road, the other one I think is on Norris Road. Both of those bridges were sometime scheduled to have tank cars put in them. What we would like to do is go ahead and get permission to advertise for tank cars, not for just this year, but for the bridges we're gonna place next year too. The ones that we need this year, we've already made budget amendments to accommodate or account for that. We'll go ahead and order those, as soon as they become available, and then next year, we'll be able to utilize that same bid to get the tank cars we need for next year. I may confuse you with that, but,
How many cars are they recommending for that bridge we talking about right here?
okay, Wise Road. is
Wise Road.
3 tank cars.
Three.
Three tank
They were
cars.
under the impression that it's two. They
Yeah.
said that wouldn't be enough, so that's three, that's just right.
There's 3 up there, and then there's 2 on, Norris Road. And then also, next year, we're gonna do, Center Point and Young Road, and those will be 1 tank car.
Yeah.
So it'll be a total of, 7 tank cars that we.
Center Point and
Young.
Young
Young.
Road. Yeah, no, I shouldn't imagine.
I think, Norris is in Davis.
It wasn't that?
Norris Road is in your district, I believe.
Yeah.
And you need how many tank cars for that?
Norris Road 2.
2.
That's just off of 80 highway, between 80 and 920.
Well, yes, sir, between I-20 and just north of Emory Road,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Young Road was just one, right? That's
Right.
905 miles.
Young and
Mr. Fuller?
Center
The,
Point's that short loop.
Yeah.
what's more expensive, like the box culverts or the tank cars?
Box culverts, the tank cars are your cheapest method of replacing a bridge, which we've done many,
Okay.
many throughout the parish.
I didn't know if the cost of those box culverts had come down since we used those.
They are a lot more
last year.
cost efficient than, rebuilding a bridge out of concrete, for sure. Which is, we use those particular, concrete culverts up on, Big Creek Road.
Yeah.
How many openings are there on Big Creek Road?
No, it's.
How many culverts?
5?
Five.
6? No, it's 6.
6. I knew there were a lot.
Have you seen that project?
Yes,
It's-
I
it's-
have.
It really looks
That's a
good.
nice-
What about your bridge rails? Did we?
They're up.
Good.
Mhm. Everything
Okay.
looks really good.
That looks good.
It
That's
looks
good,
good.
yeah, they well pleased with that.
Yeah, we saved, probably $250,000 to $300,000 on the recommendation of the engineer to not go back with a new bridge, but to use those, particular culverts.
Yeah.
We'll probably, certain situations those will be effective, instead of a new bridge.
There are people who go out to that, trade day thing, who commented and said that project looks good. And it does.
flowable fill concrete in there. So it's built to flood. So we need permission, if that's your wish, to go ahead and authorize advertising.
I move to go forward with that.
Second. Got a motion and second to authorize advertisement bid on rail tank cars for bridge replacement. All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? There being none, it passes. Consider and take action if necessary, authorizing substantial completion for Big Creek Road Bridge replacement.
Okay, that's what we were just talking about, the project up on Big Creek Road. This is similar to what we did for the sewer job. This is just basically saying that as of October 21st, the contractor was substantially complete with the project. He can file his certificate in the clerk's office in 45 days. If there are no liens, and he can get his retainage. So we need a motion, I guess, to authorize that substantial completion.
I move that we do that.
I second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? There being none, that passes. Consider and take action if necessary, establishing 25 miles per hour speed limit on Edwards Road.
Okay, Edwards Road, is everybody familiar with where that's located? It's actually in Davis District, just above Highway 80. Yeah, it's between 80 and I-20. It's a dead-end road, probably what, Jerry? A half mile long? Is that?
No, maybe about 2 2.
Yeah, okay, so it's a very short dead-end road. There's really not a lot of study that needs to be done, and there was a request by several of the residents for this.
Bless you.
So we're recommending that we amend our ordinance to accommodate that for 25 miles an hour.
I move that we do that.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? There being none, it passes. Consider and take action if necessary, substantial community, submittal of community water enrichment fund application.
Every once in a while, the state makes available money for local governments to do either water projects or what they call local governmental improvement projects. CWIF is primarily aimed at sewer systems, water systems, and so those local entities can apply through the police jury, as the vehicle for those grant monies that are available. There's a certain cap per parish. You can have multiple projects, but they can't exceed whatever the cap is. So, if you have a $50,000 project, you have to go into this knowing that you're probably gonna have to put some money out, that you won't get your project fully funded, you'll get a piece of that. So there are 3 projects to be considered. They would all be submitted under one resolution because that's the way the state wants it done now. They don't want separate resolutions for each one. But the 3 systems to be considered are Fellowship, Waterworks #1, and Hilly Greenwood. And we would ask permission to submit those applications, and later on in the meeting, we'll get permission to do the resolution. Henry's working for a couple of those. Is there anything we'll say about what they want to do?
Fellowship Water has a water well that's down right now. Had some holes in the column pipe, so that's what their application would be for. District 1 has a project that the jury got some money for them a few years ago to redo their booster station, but the building that it's in is in really bad shape. There's a pressure tank sticking out of half of the building, so this money would kind of help them complete that. I don't work for Hilly Greenwood, but I believe that their project is some valves and flush hydrants and whatnot.
Good projects.
You have to authorize the submittal of those applications.
I move that we accept that.
Got a motion, need a second. Motion and a second to consider and take action if necessary, submittal of community water enrichment fund application. All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? There being none, it passes. consider and take action if necessary, submittal of Louisiana Government Assistance Program application.
Okay, this is similar to the one we just did with CWIP, but LGAPs are more geared toward governmental institutions and helping them with certain infrastructure projects, not on a large scale, but on a very small scale. I thought I saw on the paper the other day that maybe the city of Ruston was, got permission to file an application for one of their projects. What we want to consider, what we want to submit, I would ask you to consider allowing us to is, there's some roof repair that needs to be done on this building to the tune of about $75,000 on the upper two tiers. And so, we want to give it a shot, see if we can get some assistance from the state through this LGAP program on getting that accomplished.
How much did we proceed in getting that done?
My second.
Got a second on that?
Yeah.
Motion for second, consider and take action if necessary, submittal of Louisiana Government Assistance Program application. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, that passes. Consider and take action if necessary, request for assistance from City of Granville.
You have a letter in your packet, which is pretty self-explanatory. It mainly covers some limb trimming and some pothole patching.
Mr. Chair. You do approve? I make a motion that we, consider the request for assistance from the city of Granville.
Second?
Motion been made and second to consider and take action if necessary for request for assistance from the City of Granville. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Being none, that passes. Any other business?
Mr. Chairman, one comment if I may, on the Eubanks Road, the rejecting of the bids. I believe you have it in your packet, a tabulation of the bids that we did receive. Okay. So I'm glad I'm saying it then. For y'all's reference, the low bidder on that project was considerably under budget. Made it abundantly clear in the bid opening that he really needed the job. Unfortunately, he made that clerical error and voiced it in the bid opening, so it kind of tied our hands. That bid, if we get the same number, was over $100,000 under our estimate. We fully expect to get that same bid again, so after tonight, we get the ball rolling again and hopefully get the same good numbers.
Who's it a little bit?
That's a local firm.
Yes, sir.
I like to do business with local
Yes, sir.
contractors and businesses.
West Monroe.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask Courtney, have you completed that study, on the road that I had mentioned to you?
Yes, ma'am, we have done 3 traffic counts on Cobb Road. We've determined that on the straightaways, that the average 85th percentile speed is 40 miles an hour. The only concern that we have, there's kind of an S-curve in that road, so we can't post it at 40 without, figuring out what we're gonna do for the advisory speed for the S-curve, and so that's what we're working on now. But we have got all our measurements.
What request did you make, what speed?
Cobb Road, you know where that is, coming out of
I
You just wanted to study.
We wanted to study, but we wanted to reduce the speed, because really they were going at 55.
And what is the speed limit on it now?
55. There is no speed limit.
There's no
so it's
speed
federal.
limit.
So, okay,
And we needed to lower it.
good. Makes it a lot safer.
Any other business?
Could I go back to an item that, I failed to discuss up here? I have a question about it. Courtney, on this, sewer project, is this the same project that was done years ago in, Nancy's district?
Well, there've been several projects that have been done, for that sewer district down there. This is the latest one. Do you remember the lift station we were having trouble with on Arthur Drive? Arthur Road, sorry. Basically just rehabilitated or raised that whole lift station so it wouldn't be inundated every time it flooded.
What causes those problems over in that area?
This particular one in Maurice's care, he might could talk more about it than I can, but it's just in a low spot.
It was in a low spot, and when we get these torrential rainfalls, and the ditch ways can't handle the water, so it inundates the lift station and running inside of the lift station. So the pump can't keep up with the flow.
And we also, you know, with old Green's old trailer park, we went in there and replaced some of those lines and connections. Took a couple of bellies, what they call bellies is when the pipe settles, it has a unit, some low places.
So after these projects are done, who goes in and okays it as being done right?
It's generally the engineer on the project, I think.
Right, so the scope of that project was two new gravity lines, the big trunk mains through the trailer park. The original block grant that you're speaking of, that, what, maybe early 2000s, something like that, those lines in the trailer park were not part of that project. This was something assumed later. So we replaced those lines because they're supposed to be straight, and they kind of did this number. So we tore them out and put new lines in at a consistent grade. The lift station that they're speaking of was right next to a big ditch. So we raised that wet well about 18 inches, and we put far more robust pumps into it. So we did everything we could to prevent the overflowing from happening.
How much force main was replaced? About what? I don't remember the footage on the
Couple
force main.
1,000 feet maybe. Yeah, so we got a lot done for the money.
Thanks, Dave.
Any other bid?
Oh, can I ask a question? I saw that Gremlin and Dumock are applying for LCDBG grants. Those not coming to us, you know, like their previous?
No, not the municipalities like that. Okay. We didn't have a viable project to submit this time.
No other business, meeting adjourned.